thank you, Dr. Kumar, for introducing me so nicely. And I'm also very thankful to Dr. Bhaskar Gupta for giving me this opportunity to share my views on the topic. So today's topic of discourse is the Indian startup ecosystem. Uh, Dr. Bhaskar, I would like to share one PPT on which I will explain and give the overview on the topic.
Ma'am, it is up to you, whatever the mode you like for the presentation. You can use PPT, you can use your own words, you are free to use any mode. CB Kumar sir, ma'am wants to present the PPT. Would you please request the web team to enable her to present PPT?
Is it visible?
Yes, ma'am, it is visible now.
So let us start with the Indian startup ecosystem. So, like the government of India, it has decided to boost up the startup ecosystem in the country. And moreover, as per the dream of our honorable Prime Minister, he is emphasizing more on creating the job creators rather than the job seekers. If we talk about the Indian ecosystem of the startup, then being the developing country, it has been observed that the probability of the survival of startups here in India and in the other developing countries is very less. So that is why the government is putting more and more emphasis on the startup, and the lucrative schemes are also given by the government of India for to reduce this rate of the early die-up of the startups. Now, if we talk about the focus areas with regard to the implementation of the Startup India for the states, union territories, which are listed below, the first is the startup policy. In year 2019, the government of India has given up one startup policy named as the National Innovation Startup Policy. And this policy was specifically formulated for the students and the faculty members. For the students, from the point of view that they can initiate any startup if they have some innovative idea in their mind, along with their studies. And for the faculty members, if any of the faculty is having any innovative idea which can be turned into a viable business, then the opportunities and the provision for the facilities which can be extended by the higher education institutions are given in this policy for that particular faculty member. Apart from giving the facilities of attendance relaxations for the students and for the faculty members for remaining absent for a few days to strengthen its startup, which is being launched through that higher education institution business incubator, the number of facilities are being given, and the provision of seed fund is also kept in this policy. And last year only, in the month of December, it is being notified to all the higher education institutions by the government of India to implement this policy and formulate their own institutional policy for the innovation and startup against this NISP or based on the guidelines of NISP. The main points which are the main points or the focused area which are included in this policy is the simplification and hand-holding support for the startups. Then enabling the ease of registration as a startup at BIPP, enabling the ease of recognition as a startup, enabling the ease of compliances under the various laws, It also includes the facilitation of setting up of the startups. Then setting up a dedicated startup cell or the helpline, which are open 24/7, on which the aspirants or the incubatees or the different persons who are likely to come up with a viable startups, if they seek any expert advice or any advice related to the processing of the whole startup or the process related to its registration, they can have. Then setting up a dedicated portal in the mobile application for the startups only. Then the funding support, which is one of the most important support for the startups, because like a lot of things are required for a innovative idea coming into the mind and converting it into a viable business. Like if something comes in our mind, which we think that it can be beneficial for the society, then a lot of time as well as the facilities are required to convert it into a prototype, then into a viable business product, then making the business plan, then making the marketing strategies and the other things related to its commercialization and converting into a viable business. Then funding support, undertaking initiatives to increase the access to funds for the startup, formulating a credit guarantee system, then industry academia partnership, building partnership with the industry and the educational institutions, so that the students and the faculty members who have some idea, who are likely to come up with some startup, they can have the better industrial experiences from the industry people and the guidance also. Then organizing the events or the fest and the startup fest events mainly. Then a very lucrative scheme called the Startup India Seed Fund Scheme. The basic thing which is required for any business to start is the funds. And startup, if we talk about, then startup mainly related to the students, to the faculty members, then we cannot expect that they have much funds available with them to come up with a successful business. So the government of India has launched a Startup India Seed Fund Scheme, which is proved to be very, very beneficial and will play a major role in the successful survival of the startups. So this Startup Seed Fund Scheme, which is in short called as the SISPF, it aims to provide the financial assistance to startups for proof of concept, prototype development. Prototype is the idea which innovative idea which can come in anybody's mind. It is not necessary that it will come in the mind of an engineer, doctor, or any other professional, computer professional. Even an illiterate person it can have an innovative idea. So the Startup India Seed Fund Scheme, it aims to provide financial assistance for such innovative idea which can be developed into a viable prototype. Then the product trials, market entry, and finally the commercialization. This would enable these startups to graduate to a level where they will be able to raise investment for the angel investors and the venture capitalists. Or they can also seek loan from commercial bank and any financial institutions. Now, the role of incubator in the seed fund grant. Like the startup is eligible and wishes to fetch grant under this scheme. But there will be a specific role of the incubator through which this seed fund grant can be fetched by that particular startup. So the role of the incubator in this seed fund grant is that the seed fund will be dispersed to the eligible startups through the eligible incubators across the country. Now, what is the meaning of this eligible startup and the eligible incubators? In the subsequent slides, we will have a complete discussion upon these 2 points, that eligible startups and the eligible incubators, that what is the definition of the eligible startup and what is the definition of the eligible incubators. Now, the requirement of Indian startup ecosystem. What are the requirements? There are only the 2 requirements. One is the capital adequacy in the seed, and the second one is the proof of concept development stage. Both these requirements, Indian startup ecosystem is lacking. So the government is focusing upon that how to fulfill these 2 requirements to make the Indian startup ecosystem strong. And keeping in view these 2 points, this seed fund scheme has been launched by the government of India. Now, let us discuss upon the eligibility criteria for a startup to apply under the Startup India Seed Fund scheme. Just we have talked about the eligible startups and the eligible incubators. Now we will have the discussion upon the eligible startups. Like what is the eligibility criteria, and what the startup has to do to fulfill this eligibility criteria to become eligible to fetch this grant through any incubator. So, the first one is a startup should have the recognition by DPIIT. This DPIIT is the Department of Promotion of Industry and the Internal Trade. A startup incorporation should be not more than 2 years ago at the time of the application. Startup must have a business idea to develop a product or a service with market fit, viable commercialization and the scope of scaling. Startup should be using the technology in its core product or service, or the business model or the distribution model or methodology to solve the problem being targeted. This is also termed as the design thinking. That is, a target problem is being solved. So this is the design thinking, like the keeping in view the target problem, the solution has been formulated. Now, further, the preference would be given to the startups creating the innovative solution in the sectors such as the social impact, waste management, water management, financial inclusions, education, agriculture, food processing, biotechnology, healthcare, energy, mobility, defense, space, railways, oil, gas, textiles, etc. So these are the areas of preference. If the startup is belonging to any of these areas, then there is the more probability for that startup to get the eligibility. Then the startup should not have received more than rupees 10 lakh of monetary support under any other central or state government scheme. The shareholding by Indian promoters in the startup, it should be at least 51% at the time of the application to incubator for the scheme. So these are the various aspects which are to be fulfilled by a startup to become eligible to apply for this scheme. Now, the term which we were talking about, the eligible incubator. So what are the criteria for an incubator to be fulfilled to become eligible to promote the startup for the seed fund scheme? The first one is this: incubator must be a legal entity. That is, a society registered under Societies Registration Act 1860, or a trust registered under the Indian Trust Act 1882, or a private limited company registered under the Companies Act 1956 or the Companies Act 2013, or a statutory body created through an act of legislature are eligible to be called as eligible incubator for supporting the startup for seed fund scheme. Now, next comes the Expert Advisory Committee, that is EAC. Now, what is this EAC? What is its role in supporting the startups through the incubators for seed funding scheme? Now, this Expert Advisory Committee, it is constituted by DPIIT. This is Department for the Promotion of Industry and Internal Trade. This EAC, it will be responsible for the overall execution and monitoring of the Startup India Seed Fund Scheme. That is the body which is being constituted by the government for monitoring the proper execution of the Startup Fund Scheme is EAC. EAC, it will evaluate and select the incubators for the allotment of seed funds. It will monitor their progress and take all the necessary measures for efficient utilization of the sanctioned funds towards the fulfillment of the object of Startup India Seed Fund Scheme. Now let us talk about the constitution of this Expert Advisory Committee. It comprises of a chairman. It is an individual of eminence. Then the financial advisor, it is from the side of DPIIT, or it may be his representative. Then the additional secretary, joint secretary, director, deputy secretary, DPIIT will be the convener of this EAC. Representative of the Department of Biotechnology, that is DBT. Representative of DST, that is the Department of Science and Technology. Then the representatives of MIT, that is Ministry of Electronics and IT. Representatives of ICAR, that is the Indian Council of Agriculture Research. Representatives of NITI Aayog, and at least 3 expert members nominated by the Secretary DPIIT from the startup ecosystem, investor and experts in the domain of R&D, technology development, commercialization, entrepreneurship, or any other relevant domain are the members of this EAC, that is the Expert Advisory Committee, which is responsible for declaring any incubator, an eligible incubator to promote the startup for this seed fund scheme. Now, let us talk about the eligibility of the incubator. We use the term eligible incubators. Eligible incubator means the incubator which are declared eligible by EAC for selecting the startups and for promoting those startups for the seed funds, seed fund scheme. Now, the selection of incubator, the number of criteria are there. The first criteria for deciding the eligibility is the quality of the team of the incubator. That is the what type of the members are there in the team of the incubator, and who are the people who are managing this incubator is one of the eligibility criteria. Then the infrastructure available with the incubator, testing labs or the other pre-incubation facilities which are being extended by the incubator to the incubatees. Then the composition of incubator seed management committee. That is, a committee will be constituted at the level of each of the incubator. That is called an ISME. That is the Incubator Seed Fund Management Committee. This committee will be responsible for selecting the startups and to promote the startup, to facilitate the startup for the seed funding scheme. Then the incubation support provided by the incubator to the incubatees in last 3 years, and it will be evaluated by the number of startups incubated by that particular incubator. Then the number of startups graduated, that is graduation means that any like when any innovative idea enters into the journey of the startup and the point when it exits from that journey, that period between the 2 points is called the incubation period. And once the startup has taken exit from the incubator, it is called the graduated startup. That is the progress from one stage of business development cycle to the next one. Then the number of startups that raised follow on investments. Then the number of startups that crossed a revenue of rupees 1 crore in last 1 year. So these are the parameters on which the ability of the incubator, which is promoting the startup, is measured. That incubator should have the survival rate of 2 years of the startups which are being promoted or which are being incubated by it. Now come to criteria 2. The criteria 2 is the funding support extending to the incubatee in the last 3 years by the incubator. Now see, the function of an incubator is to incubate the innovative idea, to provide all the pre-incubation facilities so that innovative idea can be converted into a prototype. Then providing the mentoring, like mentor support in the form of designing the viable business plan, then marketing strategy, and finally the strategy for the commercialization of that prototype converted into the business product. And apart from all these facilities which are being extended by the incubator, the one and the most important facility is the funding facility. So the funding support which is extended to the incubatee in past 3 years is one of the major to decide the eligibility of the incubator, and it is decided in terms of parameters like the investment agreement signed between the incubator and the startup, number of startups invested in, total corpus allocated to the incubatee, and the total investment raised by the incubatee from the external sources. Now let us come on criteria number 3. As I have just said, it is the mentoring support which is being provided by the incubator to the incubatee in past 3 years. Like when the eligibility of any incubator is decided, its past 3 years records are seen. So the mentoring provided by the incubatee is measured in terms of parameters like the number of mentors hired, average mentoring hours allocated per startup per month, and the number of IPs, intellectual property, in the form of patents, copyrights, designs, trademarks, which are registered by the incubator. Now let us come on criteria number 4. Which includes the other supports like industry corporate connect for solving the real-time problems, then event held for stakeholder engagements and the participation in other events. So these are the facilities which an incubator is supposed to provide to its incubatee and to become eligible to promote the startups for this scheme so that they can fetch the funds and they become a successful, they can turn up into a successful enterprise. Now, the number of startups that the incubator intended to support also plays a major role in the selection of the incubator for its eligibility for seed fund scheme. Then the quantum of funds applied for along with the fund deployment plan with timeline, that how much fund is allocated for the purpose in the budget of the incubator, that also plays a major role in deciding its eligibility. And the other parameters, and the other relevant parameters are decided by EAC, that is the Expert Advisory Committee of the, which is being constituted by the government. Now, after having the discussion upon the eligibility of the startup, that which are the startups, how they can become eligible to have this facility of fetching grant under the scheme, and what is the criteria to decide the eligibility of the incubators which are supposed to support the startups for this scheme. Now see, once the eligibility of the startups are decided, once the eligibility of the incubators are decided, now the list of the incubators are made available on the portal of the government. Then from those eligible incubators, different startups applies for fetching these funds. Now the incubators, they will be having a specific selection criteria for the startup for shortlisting the startups and to facilitate those shortlisted startups for the scheme. So now comes the role of the incubator seed management committee, ISME. We have also talked about this committee in one of our previous slides. So this incubator seed management committee, its function is to select the startup which are applying for the seed fund scheme through a particular incubator. It consists of experts who can evaluate and select the startups for seed support. So let us talk about the composition of this ISME, that is the Incubator Seed Management Committee. It consists of the nominee of incubators or the chairman of the incubator, representative from the state government startup nodal team, then the representative of a venture capital fund or angel network, a domain expert from industry, a domain expert from academia, two successful entrepreneurs, and any other relevant stakeholders may be the member of this committee. Now, the startup shall be selected through the open, transparent, fair process, which is comprising inter alia. An online call for the application shall be hosted on an ongoing basis on the startup portal. Applicants can apply for seed fund to any 3 incubators selected as dispersing partners for the scheme in order of their preferences. All applications received will be shared online with respective incubators for further evaluation. The applicant may be asked to submit details on team profile, problem statement, product service overview, business model, customer profile, market size, quantum of funds needed, projected utilization plan for the funds, etc. The incubator should shortlist applicants as per eligibility criteria. Now let us have a brief discussion about upon the eligibility criteria, that what are the factors which play key role in deciding the eligibility of the startup by the eligible incubator for the promotion. Now the first one is that, is there a need for this idea? Mean to say, the market size, what market gap is it filling? Does it solve a real world problem? So this is one of the criteria. for deciding the eligibility of the applications. Next one is the feasibility. Feasibility and the reasonability of the technical claims, methodology used to be used for the proof of concept and validation, and the roadmap for product development. That is how the phase-wise the product will be developed. Third one is the potential impact, the customer demographic and the technology effect on these national importance. Fourth one is the novelty of the idea, whether it is new or it is the application of some already existing idea. The USP of that is the USP of the technology and the associated intellectual property. Then fifth criteria or the factor is the team. That is the strength of the team. The technical and the business expertise within the team also plays a major role in deciding the eligibility or in the selection of the startup. Then sixth one is the fund utilization plan. That what roadmap for the fund utilization that particular startup has made, that if the grant will be given to that particular startup, then how it will be utilized in the proper way. That also plays a major role in the selection of the startup for the scheme. Then the additional parameters, it may be decided by the incubators, different incubators as per their wish or as per the suggestion of ICFC. Now the incubator, it may shortlist the applicants based on their evaluation on the parameters which we have just discussed for a presentation before the incubator seed management committee. Then ISMC will evaluate the applicants based on their submissions and presentations, and they will select the startup for seed fund within 45 days of the receipt of the application. All incubators shall provide information about the progress of evaluation of startups real time to Startup India portal. That the selected startup shall receive the seed fund under the respective incubator that selects them as beneficiaries as per their preference shared during the application. Then EAC, it may lay down the improved guidelines for the selection of startups under the scheme from time to time, which are mandatory to be followed by all. Now, next comes the guideline for the disbursement of seed fund to startup by the incubator. That is, once the startups are selected, shortlisted, and forwarded by the eligible incubators to the government for as a beneficiary for this startup, for this seed fund scheme, then there are the guidelines for the disbursement of the seed fund to the startups by the incubator, because that fund will be allocated to the incubator and it is to be dispersed among the startups shortlisted for the purpose by the incubators only. So some guidelines are being laid under this scheme. If we talk about those guidelines, then the seed fund to an eligible startup by the incubator shall be dispersed on the basis of the following 3 points. The first one is up to 20 lakhs as grant for validation of proof of concept or prototype development or product trials. The grant shall be disbursed in milestone-based installments, and these milestones can be related to the development of the prototype, product testing, building a product ready for market launch. Second, up to 50 lakhs of investment for market entry, commercialization, or scaling up through convertible debentures or debit-linked instruments. Then the seed fund shall strictly not be utilized by the startups for creating any facility. It will be utilized for the purpose it has been granted for. This is the very important point which is to be kept in mind while dispersing the funds. Then not more than 20% of the total grant to an incubator shall be given as grant to the startup by the incubator. The rate of interest on utilization funds available with incubator would also be taken into account and adjusted at the time of next release of the fund by DPIIT. Now, once the grant is released, the guidelines are released that how it is to be utilized, how the utilization is to be assured, and how the utilization roadmap is to be maintained. Then the accounting and utilization of fund comes. The incubator shall maintain an exclusive project-specific trust and the retention account with any nationalized bank. Funds under the scheme shall be released into that account in milestone-based 3 or more installments. So finally, the funds are being utilized by the startup for the purpose it was granted for. Then it is supposed that the startup will be graduated successfully from the incubator after utilizing all the facilities which are being extended to the incubatee by the incubator, and the indicators or the parameters which will decide the successful implementation of this scheme will include the progress of proof of concept, progress of prototype development, progress of product development, progress of field trials, progress of market launch, quantum of loans, angel or venture capital funding raised, jobs created by the startups, and the turnover of the startup. So this is all about that how a startup can proceed from the stage of incubation towards the stage of successful graduation and then turning into a successful business venture. Thank you.
Ma'am, there are a few questions from the students.
Yeah.
What can be the best business process plan?
Please repeat the question.
What can be the best business process plan? Like a startup, in the startup, what can be the best plan?
Best business plan you are talking about.
Yes.
Now see the business plan, best business plan, it should have many features like it is being formulated keeping in mind the different aspects like the viability of the product. It is also formulated keeping in mind that what type of customers will be there, who will be using the product. Then is there any product which is already present in the market of the similar type? So like the study of all these aspects will lead to a successful business plan.
Yes. As we were suffering from the world were suffering from pandemic situation. So lots the startup were formulated and in this
Dr. Kumar, please repeat. You are not very much audible clearly.
Yes.
Yeah.
As in the pandemic situation, lots of startup were formed, but most of them were failed, not successful. So why a startup failed?
Yeah, this is the major problem in all the developing countries. This problem is not prevailing in India only, but it is like one of the common problems which most of the Asian countries are facing. And to the best of my knowledge and for your information only, the European countries, they are being very much successful in the field of taking out the successful startups. Now see, there is one NGO named as PUM Netherlands, PUM, PUM Netherlands. And this PUM Netherlands is being formed by the volunteer experts of the European countries, and they are doing very well and very appreciable job in teaching or in training, in giving training to the dying incubators of the developing countries, so that they can become successful, and then later on they can a successful incubator can only take out the successful startups. So the now let us come to your question that why the startups are not very much successful in India. Now the one of the most like the basic reason is the funding. It is not necessary that the innovative idea comes in the mind of a person who is having all the possible resources to start a venture. It may come in the mind of a labor also. Now, let me share one of my experience that a few years back, a person was there. He was he was handicapped, and he came to our office, and he was doing the work of blacksmith only, somewhere in some of the village nearby to Meerut. But he has made one orthodontic, well, I mean to say that one artificial limb for the handicapped person, and that was really very marvelous. And later on, this idea was incubated. This idea was incubated by ITS Business Incubator, and he was given fund by MSME also. But here the question arises that that person was illiterate. He was not having much knowledge. He was not having knowledge that how to take that innovative idea to the market. So the mentoring, the mentoring support, funding support, and the technical support, and the pre-incubation facilities also. These are the four main factors which are not made readily available to all the people who are having the innovative ideas in their mind. So this is one of so this is the main reason we can say that the most of the startups or the innovative ideas they do not become viable.
Bhaskar sir, do you have any questions or any discussion?
Yes, I do have. Yes, I want to ask which are viable funding opportunities for the startups from the government of India side?
Now, see, recently the government is doing a lot in this field. And let us take the example of our own business incubator of IMT University. It was registered under 8C company in the last year only in 2020. Though we have been running this business incubator since 2015, and earlier it was approved by MSME. Then after the this university came into existence, it was again get approved in January 2020 from MSME. Then later on, we have thought to keep this separate from all the academic activities, though within the campus only. So it was registered at AHC company so that it can flourish independently. And see, this year only we have been trying from last 8 to 10 months with the government of UP. And last month only, in the month of September, it was recognized by the Ministry of Electronics and IT, government of UP, Department of this Electronics and IT, government of UP, and is being given the fund of ₹1 crore for creating the infrastructure. Moreover, we are also become eligible, like just we have talked about the eligible incubators. So we are also become eligible to support at least 10 startups in the initial phase for the funding of ₹10 to 15 lakhs per startup. So we are in the process of this. So the main, our main emphasis, it should be being a higher education institution. we have a lot of people in the form of faculty members, in the form of students with us, and they are also having the very fertile and the energetic mind. So we have the opportunity to have the idea bank of all those people. So we should be like, we should have some uh, 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 effective system for identifying those innovative ideas which can be converted into the viable startups. And apart from this, the government is also putting emphasis on the higher education institution to keep the provision of seed funding in their budgets. Like we have kept the seed funding of rupees 2 lakhs per startup in the university budget. So all these efforts are to be done, what the government is doing. So like being the educational institution, we should have the opportunity, like we have the opportunity to start our own incubators, to get them recognized by the government, and then to promote the startups of our students as well as the faculty members through our incubator for the funding under different schemes. Any other question, Dr. Bhaskar?
मैडम, ऑडियंस में से कुछ लोगों ने क्वेश्चंस पूछे, मैं एक ही साथ उसको मिक्स करके आपसे पूछ रहा हूँ कि अगर मान लिया मुझे एक स्टार्टअप के लिए 2 लाख रुपए मिलते हैं और कुछ टाइम बाद पता लगता है कि मेरा स्टार्टअप सक्सेस नहीं हो सकता, क्या मैं उसी फंड को किसी दूसरे फंड के लिए एलोकेट करवा सकता हूँ, या वो वापस करना होगा और कोई नया फिर से दोबारा से फंड कराना पड़ता है, ये सेम अमाउंट हम उसको ले सकते हैं? और दूसरा क्वेश्चन ये है कि अगर मान लिया 1 साल में हमें कोई स्टार्टअप पूरा करना है, मैच्योर करना है, और हमारा टाइम शॉर्ट पड़ जाता है, जैसे अभी कोरोना की वजह से 3-4 महीने काम नहीं करे लोगों ने, तो क्या हमें टाइम एक्सटेंड हो सकता है? अगर हो सकता है तो कहाँ से कैसे करेंगे उसको?
देखिए, ये जो इंक्यूबेशन पीरियड होता है इसका कम से कम टाइम 1 साल रखा हुआ है, कम से कम। और ज्यादा it all depends on the mutual understanding of the incubatee and the incubator. But if we are fetching some fund for a particular purpose and that too is associated with some time limit, उसके साथ एक time limit है कि हमें इतने समय में उस ग्रांट को यूटिलाइज करना है और उसको जिस पर्पस से दिया गया था उसको हमें उस पर्पस को साकार करना है, तो उसके लिए हमारे साथ फिर बाउंडेशन होगी कि हमें उसी टाइम पीरियड में उस काम को पूरा करना होगा। ये जो हम अभी बात कर रहे थे नेशनल इनोवेशन स्टार्टअप पॉलिसी की, जो 2019 में गवर्नमेंट ने लॉन्च करी थी और 2020 में हायर एजुकेशन इंस्टीट्यूशन में इसके इम्प्लीमेंटेशन के लिए एफर्ट्स करे जा रहे हैं। नाउ इट इज लिंक्ड विद IIC ऑल्सो, है ना। इट हैज लाइक NISP इज गिवन अ सेपरेट पोर्टल और उसमें सारे हायर एजुकेशन इंस्टीट्यूशन को प्रोत्साहित किया जा रहा है कि आप इसमें रजिस्टर हो। उसमें खाली रजिस्ट्रेशन एक फॉर्मेलिटी नहीं है, ये तो उन्होंने कहते हैं ना एक मुहिम छेड़ी है जिसको आगे तक हायर एजुकेशन इंस्टीट्यूशंस को ले जाना है, क्योंकि जो हमारा यूथ है वो हमारे साथ है, हायर एजुकेशन के साथ है। तो इस पॉलिसी में जो मेन प्रोविजंस दिए गए हैं वो नॉर्मल किसी भी स्टार्टअप के लिए ना देकर मेनली फैकल्टी मेंबर्स और स्टूडेंट्स के लिए दिए गए हैं। हम बात कर रहे हैं कि सपोज कीजिए हमारा एक स्टूडेंट है जो पढ़ाई के साथ कुछ करना चाहता है। अब पढ़ाई के साथ तो उसको एक लिमिटेड टाइम मिलेगा, तो जरूरी नहीं है कि वो 1 साल के अंदर ही हमको रिजल्ट्स दे दे, उसको ज्यादा टाइम भी लग सकता है। तो ये जो इनोवेशन स्टार्टअप पॉलिसी है जो हम अपने इंस्टीट्यूशन के लिए फॉर्मुलेट करेंगे बेस्ड ऑन द गाइडलाइंस ऑफ नेशनल इनोवेशन स्टार्टअप पॉलिसी, इसमें वही सब प्रोविजंस दिए गए हैं कि हम उस स्टूडेंट या फैकल्टी को जो हमारे साथ हैं, जॉब कर रहे हैं फैकल्टी मेंबर्स या पढ़ रहे हैं स्टूडेंट्स 3 साल के लिए 4 साल के लिए, तो जब तक वो हमारे साथ हैं और हमारे साथ रहते रहते अगर वो अपना कुछ शुरू करना चाहते हैं और बाकी हमें लगता है कि उनका आइडिया वायबल है। अब वायबिलिटी की क्या परिभाषा होती है, कौन डिसाइड करेगा? ये काम हमारा इंक्यूबेटर डिसाइड करता है। अभी हमने जो मैंने अभी आपसे डिस्कशन किया था उसमें बार बार टीम स्ट्रेंथ की बात आ रही थी, तो टीम स्ट्रेंथ पे इसीलिए जोर दिया गया है कि अगर हमारी टीम कुछ एक्सपर्ट्स की होगी तो उन एक्सपर्ट्स का इसको सेलेक्ट करने में एक्सपर्टाइज होगा कि हाँ हमारे पास 10 आइडिया है तो हमने उसमें से 3 आइडिया चूज करे कि ये वो 3 आइडिया हैं जिसको हम 1 साल में एक प्रोटोटाइप में कन्वर्ट कर सकते हैं और आगे जाके वो एक वायबल प्रोडक्ट की फॉर्म में, एक वेंचर की फॉर्म में लॉन्च हो सकता है। तो इस इनोवेशन स्टार्टअप पॉलिसी में अटेंडेंस में रिलैक्सेशन, छुट्टियों के प्रोविजन, ये सारी फैसिलिटीज और सारे जो हम रिलैक्सेशंस अपने स्टाफ मेंबर्स को या अपने स्टूडेंट्स को दे सकते हैं ताकि वो हमारे साथ रहते रहते हमारे ही इंक्यूबेटर के थ्रू आगे जा सकें, कुछ अपना शुरू कर सकें, वो सारे प्रोविजंस इसमें दिए हुए हैं। अब बात आती है सीड फंडिंग की, जो वो इंस्टीट्यूशन से लेंगे। सपोज कीजिए IMT के बजट में 2 लाख पर स्टार्टअप की अप टू 10 स्टार्टअप्स पर ईयर, इतने लिमिट का एक फंड का एलोकेशन है। हम सबसे पहले उन्हीं आइडियाज को सेलेक्ट करेंगे जिनकी वायबिलिटी पर हमें कम शक होगा। 100% we cannot believe, but we will be having like 80%, 70% trust that that idea will become viable. उसको हम वो फंडिंग करेंगे और वो आइडिया जब वायबल होता है, जरूरी नहीं 1 साल में ही वो डायअप हो जाएगा, अर्ली डेथ हो जाएगी। वो हो सकता है 2 साल चले, 5 साल चले, 10 साल चले, उसके बाद खत्म हो, या हो सकता है बहुत सक्सेसफुल वेंचर की फॉर्म में आगे चला जाए। तो उसमें उस ऑर्गेनाइजेशन का जो उसको वो सीड फंड दे रहा है उसका इक्विटी शेयर होगा, एंड दैट इक्विटी शेयर इट कैन बी अप टू 2%, keeping in view that that is a startup, that is not a very profitable big venture, and it is assumed in the case of startup that it will take at least 5 years to stand on its own.
I would like to ask, what is the maximum possible amount disbursed by Mudra Bank loan against Mudra Bank?
Dr. Bhaskar, I'm sorry for this question. Actually, we people are dealing with MSME and the starting UP policy. So we are trying to fetch maximum funds from their schemes for our students and the faculty members. So we have not approached the Mudra Bank yet for this fund raising for the startups.
No problem, ma'am. Thank you very much for your input.
आफ्टर पेंडेमिक कौन सा ऐसा स्टार्टअप है?
Dr. Kumar, yeah.
Now audible, ma'am?
Yeah.
So after pandemic situation, as we are going to over from this pandemic situation, so which startup can be fruitful and quick beneficial for the entrepreneur? कौन सा स्टार्टअप है जो शुरू करना चाहिए?
देखिए, ऐसे तो मैंने अपने डिस्कोर्स में बहुत सारे फील्ड्स बताए थे जिनमें अगर स्टार्टअप होता है तो उनको गवर्नमेंट रिकॉग्नाइज करती है, बट one of the emerging field is the agri technology, and that too specifically based on artificial intelligence and machine learning. So the government is also seems to be more interested in this field, because in the last month only we have attended one meeting of the starting UP government officials, and they were also discussing upon the same. So as such, it all depends on the interest of the person in whose mind that innovative idea is coming. So innovative idea किस फील्ड का होना चाहिए, ऐसा सोच के हम उसको नहीं सोच सकते, वो तो रेंडमली किसी के दिमाग में कुछ भी आ सकता है। But if we talk about the requirement and after this pandemic situation, then it is mainly of AI, ML, and being the agriculture-based country. So the agri technology based on AI and ML, this is one of the most emerging field in the field of innovation.
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, Deepa ma'am, I would like to add also that after the COVID phase 2 and 1, there is a scope of starting so many startups in the field of pharma and medical line, in ventilators, some devices digitally based, that we can measure the temperature without touching the body and the persons. So that may be I also think one of the emerging area where the startups can be started.
Now see, these are the areas in which, if we talk about ventilator, if we talk about the temperature measuring device, if we talk about the sanitizing devices, then these are already there in the market. There is nothing new in the technology. So if we specifically talk about the startup, then the startup is related to the innovative idea. So the innovation leads to startup. Startup is a small venture which is based on the innovative idea or some fertile idea, which is likely to be converted into the product of the utility of the society. So we can say that in अभी हम बात करते हैं सैनिटाइजेशन की, सैनिटाइजेशन से रिलेटेड बहुत सारे इक्विपमेंट्स की, छोटे छोटे इंस्ट्रूमेंट्स की, तो वो एक स्मॉल वेंचर, स्मॉल एंटरप्राइज की फॉर्म में हो सकता है. लेकिन अगर हम स्टार्टअप की बात करते हैं तो उसके लिए इनोवेशन का होना बहुत जरूरी है. अभी आपको एक छोटा सा एग्जांपल देती हूँ कि 2-3 दिन पहले अखबार में हमने देखा था कि इडली तो हम सभी खाते हैं. इट इज द साउथ इंडियन डिश. इडली यूजुअली डिस्क शेप होती है ना. बट दैट पर्सन हैज यूज्ड सम like millets in making those idlis, and that idli is of ice cream shape. उसने क्या किया, एक आइसक्रीम की स्टिक के ऊपर आइसक्रीम शेप की इडली बना दी. तो जो चीज हम स्पून से काट के उसको सांबर की बाउल में डाल के खाते थे, वो सीधा स्टिक से पकड़ के उसमें डिप करके खाना. तो दिस इज द इनोवेटिव आइडिया.
I request to Dr. Bhaskar Gupta sir to conclude the session.
Ma'am spoke very nicely about startups, which I was expecting, and I am really thankful to you, ma'am, for gracing the occasion with your presence today. And hopefully my students must have understood all the aspects related to startups. So now I can request my dear students to kindly come up with your idea or concept, proof of concept, so that your idea can actually be transformed into a viable product, which can later be commercialized in the market. The ultimate goal of any startup is to start a new small business. I would like to tell you, you can join any new business as a partner. You can register your company as a private limited company, limited liability firm, or in other form also. The company can be incorporated or registered. Whatever your idea is, in a nutshell, it can be stated that can easily be incubated by pre-incubators, incubators, followed by accelerators. Your idea actually first get into the pre-incubation unit, thereafter into the incubation unit, and finally your idea gets graduated in terms of startup. So startup is a graduation, once your idea gets graduated with a successful startup. I do remember somebody asked the question, many startups failed in India during COVID-19 pandemic. I would like to tell my dear friends, the reason behind the failing of these startups, that particularly the Indian entrepreneurs I am talking about, are not going to follow up. They are not actually undergoing surveys, market surveys, customer satisfaction surveys. So prior to start any kind of business, any entrepreneur, any budding startup, person has to undergo these surveys, which is really mandatory for starting any startup. If you are simply having an idea, you are not going to analyze. You are not going to have some data analysis, market data analysis I am talking about. So you cannot survive. Your business will not succeed. At the later stage of the development cycle of the startup, maybe your startup will lead to the failure. So I would request budding entrepreneurs to kindly look into this matter carefully, so that your business is going to succeed, and definitely you will achieve greater heights in your business. I have already discussed startup may be defined as an equation It is a combination of your creativity, your passion. You must be passionate. If passion is missing there, then you cannot get into the startup activity. You need to have patience also. You are actually going to commercialize that particular service. It could be a product, it could be any process, which is actually must be driven by technology or intellectual property. So anything, this is an entity. Actually, your startup is an entity incorporated or registered with Government of India. And later on, you are actually going to start as a business. So I would say that, any good startup requires the innovative ideas, creativity. You are the moderate risk taker. Actually, the person who is going to start a small business is a moderate risk taker. You are actually going to exploit the opportunities lying or surrounding you. Whenever the opportunity is there, you have to stop, you have to exploit that, and you have to make 100% use of that opportunity. As I have already discussed, this actually comprises of number of types. So I would like to say social startups are there. So startups which are meant for CSR related activities, go green, gender equality related issues may be addressed by these social startups. This afforestation is there for going green. Any startup which is going to serve the society comes under social startup. Then we have scalable startups. Yes, or not all startups are scalable. So maybe it is limited to some, some boundaries are there. But some startups are having a potential of scalability. So you can, of course, go beyond those limits and boundaries so that your startup is actually known as scalable startup. Then it comes to viable startups, which are viable. You are going to sell to some other party, come under viable startup categories. Then we do have innovative startups. These all startups, are oriented towards innovation and creativity. So I think, Umesh sir, I have concluded this way.
Yeah.
I have concluded the
Thank you, sir.
session.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
So thank you very much. Thank you. It's over to Dr. Kumar to kindly proceed for vote of thanks.
So thank you, Dr. C.P. Kumar, for giving me this opportunity to propose a vote of thanks. So first of all, I thanks to Professor Deepa Sharma ma'am that you accept the invitation and you deliver a very nice talk. From your busy schedule, we know that you are very busy in doing so many works in IMT Meerut, and we are learning a lot of things from you people, ma'am. But with the blessings of everyone, we are also doing good thing here. So, and the talk was very nice. Even you cover a very, very small points with the facts that how much fund will be allocated if you go like this and then that way. So that session was very fruitful and knowledgeable for everyone. I thanks to my entire team, including Dr. Bhaskar Gupta sir, to conducting such a nice 4 sessions on this online, which is sponsored by MOE IIC. And after listening all the 4 sessions, I can sure that there will be so many new buddy starters, persons from the IMT College of Polytechnic that who will be willing to start their own startups. They have a very innovative ideas because we have conducted sessions before you, madam, on IPR, and that session was also very motivating. Before that, we have sessions how to start the things, how to innovate, how to get ideas. So I think all 4 sessions are very useful for everybody, those who will be the attendees of the sessions. I thanks to Dr. C.V. Kumar for giving this wonderful, say, the starting of the session and conducting the sessions very properly. Last but not least, I thanks to each and everyone, the participants, students, faculty members, and staff members, those who attended the sessions throughout. the 1.5 hour and were present and listened it carefully. There were a lot of many queries which are really well explained by the Deepa madam. I thanks to my web team for supporting to conducting these online sessions without any interruption, without any kind of problems during the sessions. So last but not least, I again thanks to the speaker of the day, Deepa ma'am. Thank you all. Over to you, CV sir.